Morning, everybody. Morning. Proud to be here with Congressman John Lawson and Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, and others I think will be joining us, and mostly proud to be here with all of you. This is an issue, the issue of what goes on among seniors and people with disabilities. Back home, it is a huge issue. But you know what? It's not talked about too much here in Washington, D.C. And we're going to change that dynamic. We are going to start talking about what's going on. And we're going to do that because we have some great groups who are working with us. And I want to thank Social Security Works, the Alliance for Retired Americans, the Paralyzed Veterans of America, Latinos for a Secure Retirement, National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare, AFG, the ARC of the United States, the Center for Responsible Lending, and Global Policy Solutions for being here with us this morning and for all that they do. And let me thank my fellow members of Congress, and I believe Senator Warren is going to join us as well. All of you know that Social Security is one of the most popular and successful programs in the history of our country. And I want you to remember this, that in a world of enormous instability, Social Security for the last 80 years has been there, and nobody, no recipient has ever gotten a call that says, well, I'm sorry, the economy is not doing so well, we're going to have to cut your benefits in half. Every American who has been eligible for Social Security has received every benefit to which he or she was entitled. That is a pretty damn good record, and we should not forget about that. Before Social Security, nearly half of our nation's seniors were living in poverty. Today, while the number is too high, the senior poverty rate is just 8.8%. That's a pretty good improvement. Yet, and let's not forget this, despite the success of Social Security, 1 out of every 5 senior citizens in our country is trying to make it on less than $13,500 a year. Now, you tell me, I want you to think about it, how you survive after you pay your health care costs, you heat your home, transportation, prescription drugs. Tell me how you survive on $13,500 a year, and 1 out of 5 seniors is in that position. That is a disgrace in the richest country in the history of the world. About half of older Americans, those who are 55 and older, have no retirement savings in the bank. Not acceptable. The average Social Security benefit is less than $1,300 a month. So here we are today saying very loudly and clearly that at a time when millions of seniors are trying to survive on $12,000 or $13,000 a year, no, we are not going to cut Social Security. We are going to expand Social Security. And that is why today we are pleased to announce that 18 senators and over 140 members of the House have come together on an Expand Social Security Caucus. Hear that, Paul Ryan? Expand Social Security. And in the midst of all this, it's not only Paul Ryan who gives well over $1 trillion in tax breaks to the 1%, and then he comes back and he says, oh my goodness, the deficit is going up. Oh my word. And what do? We have to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And then on top of all of that, we got a president who is a pathological liar. So he goes to Montana last week and he tells the people there, he says that the Democrats want to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. This is after this guy brings forth a budget, right? A budget which will cut Medicaid by over $1 trillion in a 10-year period, Medicare by $500 billion, and the Social Security Disability Fund by some $72 billion. And then he comes back and says it is the Democrats who want to cut Social Security. So what do we have to do? First of all, we have to recognize that in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, we are going to protect the most vulnerable people in our country, and that includes senior citizens and people with disabilities. And second of all, what we're going to say is that people can't make it, in many cases, on the Social Security benefits that they are receiving today. We're going to expand Social Security. We're going to have a process evaluating senior inflation that correctly responds to the needs of seniors' purchasing capabilities, which is not the case right now. Now, how do we do that? Now, there are some differences here. All of us want to expand Social Security. Some of us want to do it this way. Some of us want to do it that way. In my view, what you have got to do is lift the cap on Social Security taxation right now. And that means that it is absurd that somebody who's making $30 million a year contributes the same amount into Social Security as somebody who's making $128,000. So we lift that cap. We're going to have substantially more money coming in to the Social Security Trust Fund. We're going to be able to increase benefits, and we are going to be able to substantially extend the life of Social Security, which is what we have got to do as well. So, having said all of that, I want to thank all of you for your support, and I want to now introduce a colleague of mine who has been a very, very strong supporter on this issue, Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Oh. Thank you. Thank you.